classical crossover, heavy metal and acoustic music, trying to go live. Hang on one second. Yeah, it's like you never really know how everything looks like until you actually hit the live button, so it can be kind of funny. All right, so yeah, hi, I hope that everyone is doing well here, and thank you very much if you are a new subscriber. I'm super stoked because I've had a lot of new subscribers here on my YouTube channel here in 2025, and a number of you guys have come here because you have seen my videos where I am shredding, specifically videos where I'm showing off some spastic sweep picking like sweeps, big sweeps. You can see me play some Paganini where I am sweeping this variation inside Paganini Caprice 24, and you can also see me do some serious sweeping of Introduction e Rondo Capriccioso. So these are big classical pieces that you can see me sweep to boop boop boop, you know, sweeping on my guitar. So thanks a lot, you know, if you're here, and thanks a million, you know, if you've been here for a long time. I have released music in 3 different music genres so far, but today I'm here to talk about neoclassical guitar. So I have welcomed over 100 people so far into my 3 neoclassical guitar secrets that no one will tell you, and it is, you know, a pretty cool mini course where I actually show you a monster of a warm-up called the warm-up from hell. Now, when my guitar teacher showed me this thing, I actually thought he was joking, and I thought that I would never be able to actually play that, and I thought that, Jesus, this is out of reach. I don't have, you know, he's a man, I'm a woman. I don't think that my wrists are strong enough. I don't think my hand is big enough to actually sort of play and master this exercise. Turned out that I was wrong. I was actually able to do that exercise, and I have realized in retrospect how important it actually is, because what it does is that it forces your hand and your wrist to be in the correct position and to have the correct arch. If you don't have the correct arch, then, you know, the high E string and the high B string will not ring out. So every time you get to those strings, you know, you're not going to get any sound. Another thing as well with that exercise is that it really sort of forces your fingers to get to become really strong and to have great sort of finger independence. And one of the things that I can say about people, you know, who come to me because, you know, they have all these questions about extreme guitar, whether that is extreme metal or neoclassical, is that a lot of people, they struggle because these 2 fingers are too weak. So they haven't sort of mobilized all their fingers, and that is a huge problem down the line if you actually want to do proper extreme high intensity playing. So that is a little bit there. So yes, my 3 neoclassical guitar secrets is pretty awesome because, you know, you are getting, I would sort of say, the 3 foundational blocks that you really need to get into this technique. Hi there to Oscar, and welcome to my stream. I'm here today to talk about neoclassical guitar playing, and I have just been talking about my 3 neoclassical guitar secrets, and I have been talking a little bit about the warm-up from hell that I'm getting such fantastic feedback on, that my mentor showed me, and I actually thought when he showed it to me that he was just, you know, messing with me. I didn't think it was physically possible for me to actually do it. So I have just been live on my Instagram as well. I don't know for how long I'm going to be on here today, but essentially I always have just like a handful of people who I am sort of mentoring one-on-one. It is the absolute best way to wrap your head around neoclassical, because in my case, you know, you both then get access to me, so I can look at you, I can listen to you, and I can give you like live feedback, but you also get access to my 7 different guitar courses, so that you actually have the video courses and the PDFs and all the course material as well. It's a great way to actually teach people, and it's a great way to help guitar players have a profound transformation, because, you know, you can, you know, meet people and see them like this and listen to them playing, but then also direct them and tell them, go and check out this and this, go and check out this and this video and this video lesson specifically. Okay, so thank you very much for loving my jacket. Yeah, I have been asking the question today across my different social media platforms, you know, which outfits do you guys prefer? So I don't know if you're already following me or if you're new here, but yes, it is part of my brand to have these like uniform jackets, and I've had different designs. So today I'm choosing blue. It's actually my favorite color, but the red tends to pop out more. So for that reason, you know, I tend to go for the red, but this is actually my absolute favorite blue color, and this is the uniform that I have picked whenever I have been on TV. You know, it's like my favorite thing to have blue when I am on TV. Oscar says you're new. All right, well, welcome into my world. How does the whole thing look? I'm not going to show that to you. This is a jacket that I'm wearing here today, and you can see the epaulets that I have are quite discreet. You can take them off basically, so I can change and have different types of epaulets and put the different epaulets on the different jackets. And I have 7 stripes And I have 7 stars as well. You know, the stars are kind of here, and then you can see my logo here. And I'm wearing a cute little mini skirt that is not connected to my outfit, because I'm literally in the south of France and it's incredibly hot. But I have different types of variations on this theme, on this uniform. So I will, you will have to see the whole outfit. You can see the whole outfit on my YouTube channel. The best mentoring and advice for learners that can't find anywhere or from anyone. Well, thank you. Yes, you know, it is, I have become quite specialized in this whole thing called neoclassical and high intensity playing. So I'm going to share with you guys, you know, a little question that that I got from one of my mentorship students. Okay, so he wondered if I actually had tabs for my version of Zigeunerweisen. If you've been here for a while on my YouTube channel, then you will know that Zigeunerweisen was the first classical piece that I put out there, and it became an instant hit, instantly charted past the 1 million mark, you know, and people absolutely loved it, gave me the funding to create my first album, and that album became an instrumental guitar album with classical crossover, right? So anyway, he asked me if I had tabs for Zigeunerweisen, and I informed him that I actually only have tabs that I'm selling to people from my arrangement of Paganini Caprice 24. That is the only thing that I am sort of giving people in terms of tabs. Now you may think that's kind of strange, you know, why haven't I created tabs for Zigeunerweisen? Now, first of all, it's like all of these classical pieces that I have done, I have internalized them. So I went through that whole process of figuring them out and then repeating and practicing them forever and ever. So I know them. It's like, you know, I have kind of bonded with these pieces, and that is what's happening. If you spend 5 to 6 months wrapping your head around a classical piece, it's like the painful period is the transition period, as is like you're sinking to the piece of music. But at a certain point, it's almost like you're kind of, you know, the piece is becoming embedded with you. You know what I mean? It's like you're becoming like this. And once that has happened, it's almost like the piece becomes a part of you, even if you haven't written it, even if you are just performing it. So it is this syncing of the piece and your body and your brain. This is the painful transition point that takes the most amount of time, or not necessarily the most amount of time. The most amount of time is actually deciphering the piece. So essentially what I do when I'm mentoring people and I'm coaching people and I'm showing people like how to go out there and master neoclassical guitar, what I give people, like one of the things that I give people is sort of the recipe on how to go about climbing that mountain of nailing and internalizing a classical piece of music, if that makes any sense. So the guitar is the hardest instrument that you can transcribe music to that isn't really for the guitar. So if you're going to take a piano piece, you're going to take a violin piece, and you're going to play that on your guitar, it is going to be, it is time consuming. It is time consuming, okay? So one of the reasons as to why it can be time consuming to transcribe a classical piece for another instrument onto the guitar is that, first of all, how are you going to play whatever run? Are you going to play it in a vertical or horizontal fashion? Are you going to get the more muffled, darker tonality of the thicker strings of your guitar? Are you going to go for a brighter, crispier sound, or are you going to go for something that's in between? So if you're going to play one note and you're going to play the same note, but you're going to play it on different parts, you know, of your guitar, even if the tone is identical, the sort of the feel will be different in terms of what you're getting out of that string played on that specific part of your fretboard. So when it comes to then figuring out where you want to play specific runs on your guitar, the options are endless, and you're looking, am I going horizontal, am I going vertical, and what is the sort of crispiness or the muffledness that I'm going for in terms of the tone. And then the other thing that you also have to think about is your physiology and your hands and your body, and you know, what is the easiest way for you physically to play and master what you want to play and master. Okay, so that's another thing that a lot of people don't think about. A lot of people, they don't think about that. You know, the best solution for me is not necessarily the best solution for you. It has to do with your flexibility, what your hands are like, and also what your preferences are in terms of how everything sounds like, right? So it's interesting because if I've been saying this to some of my mentorship students, they want to learn how to play my music, so the music I have written, and they're very excited when I actually show them how to play my metal music, for example, or my acoustic music. The funny thing about my original music is that, once again, it reveals a lot about my physiology. So, you know, if I'm writing something for the piano and then all of a sudden there's a transition point, right, or maybe there's a big stretch in there, these are things that are reflective of my physiology. my stamina when I get tired, when I need a break, when I need to actually sort of change the position or change what I'm doing to not kind of get frozen physically in that position, right? So if I'm writing a piece of heavy metal, all of a sudden there's a break I've written in there so that, you know, I can do this and I can shake my hands and I can loosen things up. All of a sudden, you know, like if I have a piece of metal music and then there is like a bridge, there's like a section, all of a sudden the hand position becomes different. You know, I probably put that in there once again for physical reasons. Right, that is why that transition point is there. So when you're looking at my metal music and the music I've written myself, you can read my physiology, both as a singer and as a guitar player and as a piano player, into the music. This is why you're not doing yourself any favors if you're just going to pick up tabs created by other people for classical music. This is one of the reasons as to why it's a good idea to kind of get the tabs for one piece. You know, I have my Paganini Caprice 24 arrangement. It's like you get one arrangement, you get one tab, and then you get the guidance on how you can take another piece of music and decipher that in your own way. Because how do you get longevity and how do you actually sort of not make your life too miserable if you want to go into high intensity playing? You really have to listen to your body. And it's like you are first going through a deciphering phase, and then you're going through a phase of what I just call syncing, where you are completely syncing yourself to the piece of music that you want to conquer, right? Then you're going to get to a point where the piece of music feels like it's part of you, but before you get to that point, it's going to be a pretty massive transition phase. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, you know, I have created 7 guitar courses in total. One of those is completely fixated on sweep picking. It's all about sweep picking, right? I share with you 4 exercises that will enable you to nail sweep picking once and for all. And I'm also showing you the 5 building blocks that you need to have in order to nail sweep picking. And you can see the different angles of my hands and everything so that you finally understand muting. Because a lot of people will tell you, oh, you have to mute. Some people may tell you have to mute with the right hand, the left hand, you have to mute with both hands. But I'm here to tell you have to actually mute with your entire body. You know what I mean? Like your whole body. It is a bit more complex than what some people, in fact, most people will tell you. So how can you actually get clean, you know, sweeps? That's something that a lot of people wonder about. Well, it's because you have to have a total understanding on how to truly mute your guitar, right? You have to mute it properly and still get sound, but not get a cacophony of overtones and undesirable sort of mess, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I created a full-on sweep picking course. I also created a full-on course called Guitar Fitness for High Intensity Guitar Playing, where you learn really and truly how to use your body and your mind to basically become, you know, the ultimate guitar player you can become. You don't want your physiology to get in the way, and you don't want the mental aspect to get in the way either. You see my point? So the best way, you know, to actually wrap your head around neoclassical guitar playing is, of course, to unlock my guitar mentorship program. It is, of course, you know, to both have all of these video courses and then also have access to me while that is an option. So I have created all of these video courses, and I'm still actually creating, you know, uploading content and things like that, because it's quite massive, the undertaking that I've done. So, you know, the video courses, the PDFs and all that type of stuff is being created so that that is there when I'm no longer available. So take the opportunity while you have it and ensure that you actually get both access to me, so I can look at you and give you proper feedback, and access to these courses. Okay, so that was all for me today. Whatever I'm sharing with you when it comes to neoclassical, you're not necessarily going to get that elsewhere. Part of it is because most people don't know. Another reason is that people don't want to share. It's just the way that it is. You see my point? So if you have gotten my 3 neoclassical guitar secrets already, congratulations to you. Then I hope that you have fun with the warm-up from hell. And remember that I actually thought my guitar teacher was joking when he showed me this thing, but I was actually able to play it, even though I thought I wouldn't be able to do it. I was able to do it, and I still use that warm-up every single day myself. It is great because it forces your wrist to have that arch that you need, and it's also great for individual finger strength, okay? So make sure that you comment guitar on this post if you're interested in finally nailing neoclassical guitar playing. Bye-bye!